Oh my gosh. Hold on. Is this mic on? Hey y'all. We are back like we never left for Care for the Culture. Callie is going to join me in just a sec, and we are going to catch back up and talk about where we've been, where we are, where we're going, all that good stuff. So I'm super excited to be starting this back up with y'all today. And if you're watching this now or in the future, tell us in the comments how the first 9 days of 2024 have been for you. Are they giving? Is it trash? I hope not. It's only been 9 days. There's so many more days if the latter is your truth right now. But things are going to hopefully be exactly what they need to be for this year. And I can't wait to share with y'all what that means for me, what that means for Callie, who I can't wait to see. Callie, where you at, girl? So we can talk about this stuff together. It hasn't been so bad over here for the first 9 days of the year. Oh look, let me add her. It's been so long, y'all. I done forgot how to do this stuff for real. So I'm trying to invite Callie. Shout out to Callie the rapper. Really cooking with Crisco. And once she joins, we can get into all the things. Hi, thank you for dropping in. If you're here and Callie has entered the building. So now we're about to get into the good stuff for real. And I can end my ramble. The anticipation is killing me. Sis, what is accept? Please join me. Oh, now I told y'all it's been a minute, so bear with Auntie while she gets this together. I'm accepting, Callie. Yay!
Well, I
There
don't
we
know what
go.
was happening. I accepted, you accepted, it wasn't working.
Listen, I said give Auntie a minute to figure it out. It's been a long time since we've been on here,
Girl,
but we did it.
yes,
Oh
we are
my
back.
gosh! Hi.
Hi. It
It's
feels like it's been a really long time. I guess it kind of has.
low key, but happy to see your
Me
face.
too.
It was a good break, but I'm happy we're back today to get into the
Yeah.
things. So yeah. Okay. Well, we can go ahead and just jump right into our stuff. So, care for the culture and allow us to just briefly reintroduce ourselves.
Right.
I'm Kayla. I am a yoga psychotherapist and founder of The Well Healing, which offers holistic wellness for queer, trans, Black, and people of color. Happy to be here.
Yeah. And I am Katrina, aka Callie. I am a holistic psychotherapist and owner, founder of Manifesting Me Wellness that provides holistic mental health services to the BIPOC community virtually, but we are located here in Los Angeles, California.
Side note, have you ever listened to Callie, the rapper, female rapper?
No.
No, okay, never mind.
Why?
So when I say your name, I want to be like Callie because that's how she say her
Oh,
name, but that doesn't make sense if you don't listen to her. But
I
her
would
music
not.
is.
I would probably just go along with it, not knowing where it came from.
Well, yes, you already have a cute name tagline if you ever want that for yourself. But,
Thank you.
anyways, how are you? How are you doing today?
Today I'm okay. Today I'm okay. It has been a season.
Hmm.
It has been a season. I think that this break was much needed. Um,
Amen.
in all the ways that it was unplanned and also just very important to have.
Right.
And I feel like I'm starting to come out of that. Like, I don't even know what the season
Mm.
was. There was a lot going on. Life was life and work was working. Like, there was just so much happening.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm coming back to a place of like starting to feel grounded again, but I'm not quite there. Like, my tippy toes are on the ground, but
Mm.
that's it. I feel like I've been floating in the wind for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. I am glad that your tippy toes are on the floor. Hopefully, it's about to be 10 toes down, followed by the balls and the heel of the foot very soon.
Very soon, hopefully.
But yeah, I'm glad that we took a break too. I also, well, here and now today, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling hopeful and excited for this
Mhm.
year. And I think that's only coming now because of the break that we took, where
Hmm.
in general, I was just needing time to, I think, just enjoy things as they were instead of like building on something or trying to create new things. Um, I even needed to take some stuff off my plate and like low key coast for a while so I could just kind of
Yeah.
catch my breath. And so I feel good now about being back, trying to pace myself and not throw on a whole bunch of stuff onto my plate because I already see that possibility, but we're taking it easy and making our way back with as much intention as possible. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel that. I
Hmm.
feel that. I was
Hmm.
thinking about, as you were naming that, I was thinking about how we as therapists, as yoga teachers, and all the things that we do are such space holders, and how we had this long season of this pandemic and all the things that were happening in our world. And during that time, like working with a lot of caregivers or people who work in like healthcare, I was always wondering, like, how is this gonna hit us later? And I
Hmm.
wonder if that was a part of it.
Hmm.
Like, we really never got the opportunity to chill and settle down because we were holding space for people while they were dealing with the
Right.
things, and we were dealing with the things with them and trying to hold
Right.
space at the same
Hmm.
time. And I've noticed that a lot of folks in healthcare, therapists, and people in our types of professions are really feeling it. And we're really
Hmm.
feeling it, especially towards the end of last year. So I just wonder, like, that's on my mind, like, how much of this was like everybody just needed to reset.
Yeah.
And when the world was resetting, we were still like in the thick of holding space. And maybe when things started to calm down just a little bit, we got to hold space for ourselves a little bit.
Hmm. Yeah. That's a really good point, and that makes a lot of sense because yeah, we started our lives in consistency around, I went back and checked, July 2020. So that was really
Mm-hmm.
like at the height and the thick of it. And we went for a while. I went back and checked, and we took a pause after June 2022. So
Yeah.
that really was us, in addition to all the things that we had going on in our businesses, our personal
Right.
lives, being here too. So that actually, I hadn't even considered that, and that really resonates. So yeah, we deserved. I'm glad that we took, you know, our break for as long as we need. And I again think that just is an example of like moving with the flow and with
Absolutely.
alignment and how important breaks are. So yeah.
Absolutely. We got to
Mhm.
practice what we preach.
Amen.
And as uncomfortable as it is, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as folks who are, out here in the public sphere or space, I was trying to say both, that we are able to recognize that sometimes it's not going to look really put together. Like it may not be an announcement that like we're taking a break and this is for how long, that it might just look like we kind of fell off and then we came back together and we're like, okay, we're back.
Right.
This is what happened because
Right.
sometimes you don't get the opportunity to say, I'm tired and I need a break. And this is what that's going to look like and for how long.
And no shame about it.
Right.
I'm glad y'all was asking about us because that made me feel happy. But I
Right.
also have no regrets about just suddenly disappearing off the face of social media in that
Yes.
way. So,
Yes.
um,
And you were doing good because you were still out here posting, girl. I was gone. I was gone. I was barely on the socials at all. Like
same.
I really disappeared and was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I am just in my space. I don't want to deal with nothing and nobody. Like I'm really just honoring me and taking care of me.
Yeah.
And I tried to come back to social media so many times and I just didn't have it in me. Like,
Listen, and you ain't missed nothing. Not a damn thing. I'm glad you took your time away because
yeah,
yeah, nothing that you can't jump right back into.
right.
So yeah, I did what I could with a little post here and there, but even that, like I'm feeling so much more inspired. I feel like I
Mm-hmm.
actually have things on my heart to say now and things to offer, and I think that only came from again just doing like the bare minimum, if anything,
Right.
for a while. So happy that we're both now in this place to be coming back and to talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about in
Right.
here. If y'all have not checked out any of our previous lives, we touched on quite a bit of different topics over those basically 2 years that we were doing this consistently,
Right.
like perfectionism. We talked about intersectional wellness as holistic therapists ourselves.
Mm-hmm. We talked about wellness during the holidays. We
Mhm.
talked about also ways of like honoring ourselves when there's a need for advocacy in
Ooh,
the world and how we want
right,
to engage in that.
right,
We was in the thick
right.
of all the nonsense that was happening
Yeah, quite
and talking
honestly.
about how that was showing up.
Yes. And if no one else, I don't have a rose, but this is a metaphorical. I'm giving you your roses for being in the thick of the shit when things were so hard,
Yeah,
you know? Because yeah, I think we were really doing our part to put some goodness into the world when
absolutely.
things were even more chaotic. Mhm.
Mm, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And not to say that they are less
Any less?
chaotic. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's looking real different, but we're still in it.
For sure. For sure. So, plenty of more things to talk about. And we'll be excited to bring those to y'all each month, I'm sure. We're looking
Yeah,
at the second
Tuesday.
Tuesday each month. But as y'all can tell, we are women who are about our wellness for real. So if a
Mhm.
month gets skipped or something, we
We love
may
y'all.
or may not let
We'll
you
be back.
know. You're right. You better catch it when you catch it and enjoy it while it's
Yeah.
here. So, um, yeah. Well then, and just like kind of catching up and checking in today, I was thinking since we are kind of still towards the top of the year,
Mhm.
before, if at all, jumping into like any goals or resolutions, the other day, well, maybe about a week or so ago now, my brother asked me, instead of your resolutions, what did 2023 teach you? And
Ooh.
so, right? I was like, okay, bro, not you coming with the real reflective question over here.
Right.
Um, but I thought it was such a good question that I hadn't been asked just yet. And so wanted to pose that question to you of what do you think last year taught you?
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a really good question. I would say the lessons of 2023 were something in alignment with reimagining what it looks like to take care of myself
Mm.
and to take care of the me that is present today, which I
Mm.
think was very different than the me that was present the last time I created a care plan for
Mm.
myself. Um, there
Yeah.
was
Mm.
so much shift, and I think we talked about this a little bit, but there was so much shift in my
Right.
health over the course of the last 3 to 5 years that every day was really different sometimes. Um, a lot of moments of just like, I don't know needs in this moment, but what I know is it's not okay. Like, and I that also still honoring all of the other abilities and needs that I have, right? Like, how do I continue to work and honor that I also need more rest and take care of my clients, but also honor that I might need to be taken care of as well. And um, so I think it was a lot of like reimagining care for myself and where I get that from food. Looks like to have to pay for it. Um, and different types of care that maybe I hadn't before or hadn't done in a while. Just really working through it and being gentle with myself as I figured out a new plan. I don't
Mm.
know that the lesson was the plan. I think the lesson was like navigating it though. Because I think
Yeah.
the big part of that lesson, and I say this to clients all the time, but of course, you know, when it's you, it's different, that our care plans have to change as we change. And I was
Yes.
consistently changing. Like my physical body was consistently changing.
Yeah.
So I had to adapt a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good for you because that can be just like mentally, emotionally a real challenge and
And it
like
was.
internally, yeah, internally catching up to where your body is at or even accepting where your body is at or just what your needs might be now and the ways that they're changing from what
Mm-hmm.
you were once more familiar with. And so I'm really happy to hear that you gave yourself the time and space to not just create a plan, but like figure out how do I actually navigate and follow this and embody this kind of care for myself. And I'm wondering if you feel comfortable sharing, like maybe what's one of the parts of your care plan that changed or was new or
Mm-hmm.
like, um, yeah, you had to adjust to.
A huge part of that was taking some things off my plate. Was really taking things off of my plate that I realized that I couldn't just keep adding care and not taking
Mm.
away the things that were diminishing the care.
Ooh.
And the things that I thought that like I had the capacity for, I just didn't. right? Like I was seeing 12 to 15 clients a week, and that was totally fine for me at one point. It no longer is. I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
cannot do that anymore and continue to run my business and
Yeah.
supervise and take care of my body. It
Right.
just, my capacity had shifted pretty drastically. And so I decreased my client load. I took on another clinician who could take on some of the load. I got an
Yeah.
assistant who could
Shout
take
out
on
to
some
the
other
assistant.
things. Right. Because I could not continue to operate in that way.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was like, but I felt fine. And really, I did feel fine, but recognizing that on the back end, there wasn't a lot of space for when I had flare ups, for when there was a really stressful day, when a client was in crisis. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, every day I was fine. But then that one day that everything went kaput, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
now my body is recovering for days. And
Yeah.
so when there's not space for stress because stress happens,
Right.
then my capacity is not where like I cannot my capacity cannot handle what's happening, right?
Right.
I need to leave space for the unknown.
Mm.
As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a supervisor, as a clinician, like there's just so much unknown and I need to leave more space to be able to handle that with my capacity. And my capacity couldn't handle the regular schedule
Yeah.
and a crisis.
Right.
So I had to decrease.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There are some real gems in that you just
Mm-hmm.
shared of like not only adding care on top of what you're already doing, but recognizing when something needs to be removed from the equation.
Right.
That
And that's what we talk about all the time. It's like, well, take better care of yourself.
right, 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 right.
Yeah, but you
Always
can't
add as
keep
an
adding
addition.
care.
Right, exactly. No, that's such a good point that you are naming right now, for sure. For sure. Sometimes you can't just add on top of it, and care means taking some things away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, so I think that's awesome. And I think there's so much around just capacity and space for the things that are out of our control
Right.
and being in, you have to have a connection with yourself to sort of recognize that ebb and flow. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
From day to day and from, year to year of things that might have worked then, might not work now, or something that didn't used to be as supportive is now exactly the medicine you need. So
Yes.
I love that. Good for you
Thank
on
you.
continuing that journey, really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hmm.
What about you? What was the lesson for 2023 for you?
I think that 2023 really, I, I don't, I think 2023 showed me
Mm.
really like what, how powerful and good life can be and feel like for me if I am showing up as my most authentic self.
Oh,
Like, yes, I feel like I'm coming into 2024 more myself than I've ever been. And
mm,
2023 was me really like in the practice of like not just knowing or naming parts of myself, but really like across all my relationships, like being who I am. And I felt like I feel like 2023 is one of the years where I had the most fun, where I had the
mm,
most adventure, the most pleasure. It still had its, dips and stuff like that. I have
sure.
my own child. I'm really aging for real. I feel like I'm confronting it in a different kind of way of like, I'm like, oh my God, things are really changing.
Mm,
then, so there was still stuff to like process and work through. But I feel
Yeah.
like overall 2023 was so much of like life reflecting back of like, this is how good it can feel
Yeah.
if I'm myself and I trust that whatever needs to leave because of that has to go, and whatever is going
Hmm.
to come is going to feel even more worthwhile because I'm showing up fully as myself. And so I think, yeah, last year just really solidified like the benefit of taking the risk. I think there
Mm.
have been parts of my identity that have just felt risky to lean into or
Sure.
to lean into all the time, depending on the space that I'm in. And last year was really like my F it year, and it was really like you either are rocking with me or you're not. and
Mm.
and thankfully it was filled with so much love, not as much loss as it could been as what it has been in the
Sure.
past. So um yeah, I feel like I deepened a lot of my relationships with myself, with
Mm.
others, and again just slowed down. The power
Yeah.
of slowing down and just being where I need to be without forcing something or feeling like, even though I was still like posting, it looked significantly different than like what it used to
Mm.
be, even what it will be for this year.
Right.
So because now I'm inspired and I feel like, oh, I have all this
Yeah.
stuff that I'm so excited to share and put
Mm.
out, and that needed time. I think I needed the experiences and the pleasure and the challenges to have something new to say
Absolutely.
and share. So yeah, I think
Absolutely.
that's what last year really was about for me.
Hmm. I love
Mhm.
that so much because I see you as someone who is so authentic. And so to hear you saying that there was even a depth there that you weren't always tapping into
Yeah,
just sounds so amazing to me. And I think that's so important, especially for Black people, but Black women
yeah,
specifically, how we can so much of the time say a thing or say a thing about ourselves or know a thing about ourselves, but how much do we also get to live in that? And how much do we also get to present that to the world and allow the world to see that on a regular basis? And how much that can shift
right,
so much of our
right,
lives
right.
when we do.
Absolutely. I think it was very much my blackness, my womanness,
Mm-hmm.
my queerness, my
Mm-hmm.
kinkiness,
Mm-hmm.
my wildness. Like I feel like I just embraced all of the things that felt like I need to keep them small or keep
Yeah.
it quiet or doesn't belong in every space, and just experimenting with what happens if I'm like actually all of me comes in the room or none of me comes in the room,
Yes.
and that being just so again worthwhile on the other end of it. So yeah, deepening that authenticity though, for sure, because I would agree, I would always say that, well, not always, but I would consider myself a very authentic person in my adult life, but there
Yeah.
was even more room to lean into that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
um I know we're already nearing time, but let me just ask, are you one to make like resolutions and goals? Do you have intentions for 2024?
That's a good question. I think that's something I'm still trying to figure out, to be honest. In the
Fair.
past, I have definitely been like a find a word for the year, make a vision board, get your goals going. And in the last couple of years, what I have discovered is that business gets really hectic December through like March. So I feel like my year really doesn't start until closer to spring, which I know is like the seasonal thing, anyways. And so I'm really
Yes.
leaning into that a little bit more and allowing myself to just follow that because it feels really strange in this moment to just try to figure out, like, oh, what's my goal going to be for January through December
Right.
when I'm still in the thick of like closing out 2023. I'm working on like business tax stuff. I'm sending out the information I need to send out to all my employees so they can do their taxes. I'm closing out systems. Like
Ooh, you big
I'm
boss, big boss.
yeah, I'm doing all the like background business stuff right
All
now. Like
right.
I have not started over. Y'all over here making resolutions. I'm trying to figure out how to be done.
Right.
And I don't think that settles down until about March for me. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask me again in March. Maybe I'll be setting resolutions then. But for now, like we still just closing stuff
Yeah.
out.
Totally. I
What
love
about you?
that. So real. And it made me think like just different times that can be our own new
Yeah.
year, whether that's like following seasonally and like really coming back to life in spring, or if it's your birthday, like that could really be some people's new years of like when you start and make new resolutions. So anyways,
Yes.
totally love and respect that. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What are
Um,
your thoughts on New Year's and resolutions?
Yeah, I'm totally team like whenever your new year is, do your thing. I am a vision board girly, so I have made a vision board. And I have some things that I hope for want to happen this year, but
Mm.
I think in general, maybe the season that I can sense for this year is I feel like this is a building year
Okay.
for me in terms of like, um, I feel like personally, professionally, like a couple years ago, I think I really like created the foundation of things, built things up a little bit here and there, needed a break to just enjoy the fruit of my labor for a
Right.
while. And this feels like another year where it's like, okay, we're getting back to like the doing of a thing and
Mm.
the building of the thing that I have already, not only just my business, but like in relationships and
Yeah.
within myself personally too, like where this is a year of growth and adding on in a sustainable way. That doesn't mean like everything is going to happen now,
Sure.
um, or that it's even finished this year. But I have like a feeling of excitement at like the possibilities that feel like
Mm.
are in this year. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I love
yeah,
so much that in your taking a break, you came back so refreshed and so renewed that there's like this renewed inspiration to get back to some things, to maybe make some
yeah,
shifts, to kind of bring things back up to life again, which I think is such a beautiful example that people don't always get to see about what taking a break can do for us.
right,
Sometimes it feels like stagnation. And I think really like it's a part of the integration process so that we can come
yes,
back and start refreshed.
yeah. Absolutely. I feel like I was in a winter season,
Mm,
and during that season of hibernation, part of it was just
yes.
rest, and maybe like here and there was also like some metaphorical and literal dreaming that was happening, so that
Yes.
as I emerged from my cave, I like have energy and something to give in what feels like now a kind of like energetic spring season.
Absolutely.
So, but
Absolutely.
yeah, I it's again only because I really took time away, and so whatever season you find yourself in, person who's watching, trust that, because even I have a couple posts on my Instagram of me talking about when I was feeling uninspired and now also posts where I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like so excited about what I have to say and offer, again from an authentic place and not just from a pressure of like I need to be doing or saying something. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to ask you in March, spring, just if anything has changed for you and come to the surface of like what your focus or intention might be. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm excited to answer because I feel like how maybe you were feeling in the hibernation. Like I think I'm still in that place where like things are starting to peek through. I'm seeing a little vision or something, but I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel very clearly. Yeah. And so I'm still hibernating, and I'm going to hibernate for a little bit longer, and we go see what happens. But I am hopeful that this year, spring or summer, we'll be back.
You know, whenever you're ready, we will be here waiting with open arms. So keep resting and taking your time. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I guess before announcements and wrapping up, then, was there anything on your heart you wanted to get to today?
I don't think so. It was good to see you and good to be here. I think it just feels nice to kind of come back to something that was such a staple for us for a long time.
Really, really and truly. Yay! I'm glad too. Well, I'll share as we close out that since I said I got all this stuff I want to talk to y'all about and share with you. What that looks like right now is over at the Well Healing for 2024, we're having a conversation called Take Good Care. And it is all about how to make care a lifestyle, how to have it move with the ebb and flow, and have multiple, not only just coping skills and tools in your toolbox, but even how to build enough awareness to know what it is that I need. We're going to practice together the things that feel most supportive for us. We're going to hear from awesome guests who can lend their wisdom and expertise on it. There's going to be giveaways and lots of fun stuff. So please, check us out. I'm super, again, just excited to offer what feels like hopefully really useful information for my community of Black and people of color and queerdos out there who need this holistic wellness. So join us there for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, and new meditations. Well, re-release the meditations. So if you're looking for some sort of audio that is helpful for grounding or for a guided relaxation, there's a meditation for anxiety, or if you're feeling down, for gratitude, all kinds of goodies. So go check out the Well Healing if you're not hip already. And that's
wonderful. I'm so glad that you are offering these things to the community. It's so needed in such really tough times.
Thank you. I certainly hope so. The meditations, especially crafted with care and everything to come, is really FUBU, for us, by us. So thank you. All right, girl.
All right.
It was so good to see you. Thank you to everyone who popped in or who's watching this later. Share with us either what 2023 taught you, and or when is your new year?
Yes.
When is your new year?
Yeah. And what is that looking like for you? Are you setting goals? Are you leaning in? Like, are you chilling? Are you resting? What does the new year look like for you?
Yes. Well, all right, y'all. Until the next time. It was so good to see you, girl.
You too. We'll be back next month, second Tuesday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, unless something else happens.
But we'll see you then.
All right. Bye.
Bye.